What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Alright, so it's been a year since Cyberpunk 2077 has been released, so I figured, you know what, maybe it's time to revisit the game that made my channel grow in terms of views and in terms of subscribers. There hasn't been any updates since the month of August, so yeah, the game's pretty much going to be the same since I last played it. But I just wanted to talk about it, like what went right, what went wrong, what I liked and what I didn't like, of course. Of course, let's start with the bad because that's what, we're all good at pointing at. And, it's easier to point out. Let's be honest and let's be real here. Of course, rough release, under delivered. They had a lot of things that they promised and that they wanted to, bring out. It was apparently supposed to be a next gen game, which technically it was because it was next gen pretty much on PC and on next gen consoles. But as for people like me, that is still playing on older gen consoles, it is a bit rough. We had a lot of FPS drops throughout the entire year. They did fix a lot of like the hiccups and like the bugs that were like game breaking. And honestly, for me, like a lot of like the glitches like in missions and the game breaking bugs weren't really that like of an issue to me. Honestly, my only complaint of this game was just that there's not enough content, but that can always be fixed. They can always add new content. Plus, the replayability is always fine. You could always play like different characters, different ways of playing. So that's fine. But I did not like the FPS drops. I think that was the biggest issue for me, my biggest concern. I think it still is. I don't think they even fixed anything about like the FPS drops. Like sometimes when I'm like in city and when it's raining, for example, I'm gonna try to go deeper in the city and then maybe try to fight somebody. But yeah, like I had a lot of frames dropping. But in terms of like the good things, I do feel like it is definitely a next gen. Talking about bugs, wow. Wow, I'm actually stunned, my guy. Like, I don't even know what's happening. But yeah, talking about the good things. It's funny to be talking about the good things when, like, this is happening right now. But I will say the story is nice. Of course, that could be, always changed, always adapted, according to, like, the different teams, the different developers, publishers, stuff like that. But I can admit that CD Projekt Red is talented and they do have a talented team. They just happen to under deliver and just over promise, I think. Plus they weren't ready for it, so kind of understandable. But yeah, talking about the good things, hopefully no game breaking glitch happens again because it's gonna be so funny. But yeah, I will talk about also the map. I really enjoy the map a lot. I think it is one of the things that makes this game stand out a lot. It's pretty big. Like this is I believe I forgot where what it's called again. I finished the game. I just, yeah, Pacifica, there you go, with like the Haitian boys and Haitian people. But I just ended up restarting, so yeah, that's why like my map is just not updated. Plus I'm just doing the beginning missions. But yeah, look at the map. It's pretty nice. We got like where the Nomad Star, pretty much like the desert area. We got like where I forgot what it's called again, but it's the character that I'm using right now. Like the cyborgs, like the robotic type kind of people from the city. And then we got also like street kids, who roam the streets of this place, Night City. So yeah, I really like the map. The weapons are pretty nice and solid, nice and futuristic, giving you that nice. Wait, am I even supposed to be here? I think I'm stuck here. But yeah, it's giving you like that nice feeling, low key. The only thing I wish for like the buildings is that we were able to kind of like go inside them and maybe like the levels. Of course, there's a lot of vertical buildings, a lot of height in here, but I don't even think we're able to go these buildings. I think the only building where I was able to go in was that tower where you were talking with the princess, I believe, and then you know, the few missions near the end. Pretty much, they're just missions. You know, they're not part of like the open world experience. But yeah, is there anything else that I could talk about? You know, it's kind of like giving me like a futuristic Skyrim type of game. Of course, Skyrim is just the GOAT. We can't really compare it with any other game. But Cyberpunk is, you know, kind of there. You know, it has like the potential to be like as good, or you know, maybe less better than Skyrim, of course, but it still has the potential of being a great game. We got, you know, like the leveling and the skill tree system, whatever. Not as advanced as Skyrim, but still pretty interesting, pretty cool. We got crafting. I wasn't really too fond of it, but hey, you know, if it works for you, it's always a good feature to have for people. And yeah, what else? That's pretty much like all I could just talk about. Cyberpunk, you know, but I'm hoping, you know, that they do end up you know, just updating this game and making it a really nice experience, just because I do think it has a lot of potential, and you know, it is a really good game. Like, personally, I enjoyed it a lot. And I think I know that PC players and, you know, next gen console players such as Series X and PS5 players enjoyed it as well, despite the glitches and stuff like that. But I do hope for the future, you know, that they just be careful with, you know, the release dates, their promises. Pretty much, like, I'm not going to judge them too much. Like, I was actually very fast on judging them when the game first released. But now, looking at 2021 overall, you know, I think almost every game developer and every game publisher pretty much screwed in terms of like their games. It was rough. You know, we had Battlefield. You know, it still is in a rough spot. We got Warzone right now that has, you know, bugs with audio, visual, but nothing game breaking. But since it's the end of the year, well, like in the beginning of the year, we also had, you know, some, just overall throughout the years, you know, we had a lot of games, and just not too many of them were able to stand out or be complete, you know, which is really a shame. I think the only complete game that I felt that was complete, that had maybe none or very little bugs, was like Resident Evil Village. I'm not sure if that was this year, but pretty much otherwise all of the other game developers and publishers just struggled. So you know what, I'm not blaming Cyberpunk anymore. They were the first. Everybody was quick to judge them, but now, you know, everybody forgot, well, kind of forgot, and everybody's complaining and, you know, just, you know, bashing every studios and developers right now. But you know what, people are gonna realize that it's not easy to make a game, mostly like during these times. But hey, all I'm hoping for 2022 is that, you know, developers have their set date. You know, if you really need to take your time, if you need to take 2 years, take it. Just don't drop any games that are broken. Anyways, I think that'll be it for today's video. I didn't really speak too much about the game. Of course, I didn't really elaborate. But, you know, it's always fun to revisit a game and, you know, just talk about it a little bit. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.